Oh my god, this is kind of awkward. Not gonna lie, this is kind of awkward. That was kind of awkward, guys. If you think about it, that's a little awkward.
My brother is so proud of this purchase.
I'm about to pray. You know, typical. And when we're done praying, pull this out. Wait. Grab your Quran. Sit back and you relax. And for the Muslims out there, you can use it for Jum'ah as well. Yep, this is the verses of the cattle.
All right.
Yeah, talks a lot about the Jews.
I fell in love.
Oh, love.
والحب يا الله في داخلي يسري يضيء كنور الشمس ينفح كالعطر.
Allah sees in you and He sees in me something that He decided of all the other billions of people in the world, you should get to say La ilaha illallah. You should get to say Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة أولئك عليهم صلاة.
Find out I'm Muslim. The second they find out, crazy question. Why do you make them wear that? Woman goes, I was in the Middle East. It was so hot. It was 100 degrees out. And this woman had to wear a scarf and she was sweating. Why do you make her wear that? I was like, all right, first of all, you were in the Middle East. It wasn't 100 degrees because they use Celsius. Maybe it was 30. If it was 100, you would have melted. The other thing is, just because you don't get it doesn't mean it's oppressive. If you step outside of even your own culture, things might look weird. Like, I realized this, I was on a date in New York in January. It was 7 degrees Fahrenheit. The woman I was with was wearing a really short dress, so, she wanted to look nice. And we got out of the car. We were like 2 blocks away. And she was like, what, it's all the way over there? I'm like, yeah, come on, hurry quick. And she's like shivering, but she can't really move that fast because her heels are slowing her down. And I just look in her eyes and I see this look of panic and she's so cold. And the only thing I could think was, why do they make her wear that? And her hair got all up from the wind. It took her like an hour to do. I was like, you should have just worn a scarf. Like, it would have been so much easier.
Okay, you guys, so I'm working out with my brother today, and I asked him to go talk to this really cute guy for me.
I told him, excuse me, sir, pardon me, but do you mind evacuating the building? My sister's having a hard time concentrating on her son. He left.
Okay guys, so I was speaking to this girl about MSU and I told her that I don't want to join it because I'm afraid that there's going to be free mixing, right? And I'm thinking that she's going to agree with me because, sometimes in MSA or MSU, they don't separate the men and women. And so she goes, no, that's the bad part of it. That's why I don't want to join it, because why do they have to separate us so bad? There's nowhere in the Quran that says that we have to be separated. You guys already know I stared at this girl like, are you serious right now? And so I told her obviously about Surah An-Nur, and I told her every single sin. Sorry, there are people. I'm at the beach right now. You guys already know, da'wah never stops no matter where you are. So I wanted to explain to you guys what I explained to her. So with every sin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us directly, do not drink alcohol, do not pay interest, do not charge interest, do not do this, do not do that. Except with zina, he doesn't just say don't do zina, he says don't even get close to zina. What does that mean, you may ask? It means every single thing that may lead to zina or may cause it is strictly prohibited. That means that we can't flirt with each other, try to attract each other's attention, we can't talk to each other outside of what's mandatory, obviously. And we can't be in the same room with the door closed, and so many other things. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that because I want to make sure that none of my followers on here think it's okay to free mix.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm just coming back from class and it's quite noisy here. So I go to school at Yonsei University in Seoul, Korea. Now imagine my horror as a Muslim student when my Adhan app goes off during presentations. All the heads turn to me. How do I explain myself? Like, it was dead silent and all you hear is Allahu Akbar, Allah. And I love my religion, but I was mortified at the stereotypes. And to my surprise, there was a boy that made eye contact and he started laughing. And I remembered, oh my gosh, this boy's Korean, but that's right. He said he grew up in Kuwait. So he knows what this is about. And so seeing him laugh made me start laughing too. And I just felt so much more comfortable, like, someone gets it. Now, obviously I didn't talk to him afterwards, but I really appreciated it. So I decided to make this post to share my gratitude to our non-Muslim allies. We appreciate you.
This is not real. It's just a dream. Please, please, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
أنا بالسقم دهرا طريق تقال العثار العظام به.
When you're in the Kaaba, you learn that the sunnah is that for the entire last part of the tawaf, what dua are you supposed to say? ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Oh Allah, give us in this life good and give us in the hereafter good and protect us from the hellfire. Do you notice in this dua there's 3 parts? There's 3 parts, yeah? Now out of those 3 parts, how many are about dunya? 1, right? ربنا آتنا في الدنيا. You don't forget it, you have it there. You have the first part about dunya, but then the second part is about the hereafter. And what's the third part about? The hereafter. Where is Jahannam? In the hereafter. So you notice that even in this dua, where is the focus? The focus is more on akhirah than it is on dunya, right? So the reality is that Allah doesn't tell us to forget about dunya completely, but Allah is showing us where our primary focus should be. Our bigger focus is on Allah in the hereafter.
But with all of the common misconceptions, I do want to ask you about the concept of martyrdom in Islam.
Okay. Basically, number one, martyrdom isn't just achieved through fighting. That's one thing. So there are various categories of martyrdom in Islam. Defending your property. If you died defending your property, you'd be considered a martyr in Islam. If a woman died while giving birth, she would be considered a martyr in Islam. If a person drowned in Islam, they're considered a martyr. If a person died of a stomach disease or some sort, they're considered. So there are various categories of martyrdom, right? But never is martyrdom equated with terrorism in Islam, or killing someone that's innocent, or hurting someone that's innocent. In fact, in Islam, there isn't this concept of, well, if you've got a group of people that deserve to be killed, if you're fighting your enemy, and you take out 100 civilians as well, that it's fine. So even the death of a woman in the battlefield, in one of the battles that the Prophet Muhammad fought, peace be upon him, there was a woman that passed away from the other side, and he stopped the entire army. He tried to find out who killed that woman. That wasn't allowed. So if a person was to have been in that situation, or is in a situation where they've defended something that's noble and they've died in something that's noble, there are lofty promises. It is the highest station of paradise and so on and so forth. But never does that mean search it out or seek it out. And that's why I mentioned the hadith, the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is, don't ever wish to meet your enemy in a battlefield. Don't wish for war. The first verse of the Quran is that fighting has been prescribed for you, but you hate it, even though you hate it. So we're not meant to be a people that crave violence or that crave war. But once a just war does take place, then certainly those noble men and women would be praised for their service and sacrifice.